Hey guys, what's up? I know it's been over half a decade since I posted my last video, but I am here today and I promise I have something real important that I consider to be pivotal and that really needs to be discussed, and I'm very interested in knowing what you guys think. A couple of days ago, the news broke that David Yates said in an interview that Dumbledore's sexuality wasn't going to be explicitly present in this Fantastic Beasts sequel, The Crimes of Grindelwald. That triggered a massive riot within the fandom and people firing at J.K. Rowling and firing at David Yates and basically treating them like they're responsible for trying to cover up his sexuality, that he's gay. So basically, based upon this response, which was very, very negative, J.K. Rowling tweeted that she felt like people were being really abusive and that they were judging a story that they hadn't seen yet, and they were judging her for a comment that someone said that wasn't her, which was actually David. She kind of defended herself and she was like, hey, you haven't even seen the movie yet, just hold your breath, wait a little longer, we haven't even had a teaser trailer yet. Just, hold on a little bit, take a chill pill. Some people think that they are trying to give that whole Hollywood twist of the straight characters, and that I doubt that is really what's going on here. I'm going to have to say that I agree with J.K. Rowling and I'm on her side on this thing, just because I think people are getting way ahead of themselves before time, before anything even happens. Like, we don't even know anything of the story yet. I have a few reasons to back my opinion. The first thing I'm going to say is that I understand people are upset because he said that Dumbledore's sexuality is not going to be treated explicitly. Like, he's not going to say, hey, I love Grindelwald, or hey, I'm gay, or whatever. So people are very upset about that, but we don't really know what he meant when he said explicit. So maybe he's not going to say it, but he is going to do certain things, or he's going to say certain things, or he's just going to make a few jokes here and there, or comments that kind of give a little nod to the fact that he's gay, or probably something that will suggest that he actually had a loving relationship with Grindelwald. Well, not really, because it is said that Grindelwald was basically using Dumbledore to his advantage and that he never loved him. So we don't even know what the story is about yet. We don't know the implications of this sequel. And I think people should really just wait a little longer to see what the film is going to be about before they can really make an opinion. The second reason that I think is very important to consider is the fact that we don't really know how much screen time Dumbledore is going to have in this film and what his level of protagonism is going to be. Maybe Dumbledore is going to have a little bit of a smaller role in this one, just to kind of introduce us to him, and he will have a much bigger part in the forthcoming 3 sequels, and there's just so much more to explore. We're going to be tackling with other aspects of his life that don't necessarily involve his sexuality, which is okay, because let's face it, our sexuality really defines us up to a certain point, but it's not like we are just that. There's so many other things that really make us who we are. Our actions, our attitude, the way we see things, the way we act, the way we react, what we've done, what we haven't done, they all define us, and it's not just about liking this or that. So my third reason is kind of picking up what I started saying in the previous one. Why are we trying to make his sexuality take the center stage when Dumbledore was obviously something much bigger than just that? He had so many things that define him. He was like the greatest wizard of all times. He was the only one Voldemort was really afraid of. Of course, yes, he loved Grindelwald and he was gay, and God, yes, I want to see more of that story. I want to see why he was so involved with him. They were both seeking power, so they kind of must have felt comfort in each other in that way. But what made him so weak towards Grindelwald, that couldn't stop him in the first place, that really kind of made him have like a contradictory thing in his head where we didn't really know if he wanted to fight for the greater good or he wanted to fight for love because he loved Grindelwald. I think there's this whole thing inside his head, and I'm sure that we're going to deal with that in the future sequels, and we're probably going to deal with it in the second film, but we don't know to what extent. Let's just hold our breath. I want to see the backstory. I want to see how they went from being friends to lovers, if they ever were lovers, or if it was just Dumbledore who loved him and it was a one-way street. That kind of built him up as a character, as a person, but Dumbledore is so much more than that, and we already know it, and we know that if his sexuality is not going to be dealt with in this film, it must be because there's something that's a lot more important, and it's kind of really making him have these internal conflicts in his head. It's going to be kind of a very psychological character, because I think there's so much going on with him at that time, and he's kind of like a little bit disturbed, like a hot mess or something like that. And of course I want them to pinpoint exactly what it was that was troubling him at that time, and it was partly because of Grindelwald. So of course it is important, and yes, I want more of that. But I want to know also what made him the powerful wizard he is today. So even though his sexuality is not dealt with in this film, we still have 3 more films to focus it on. So let's just not get our hopes down. Let's not blame J.K. Rowling for things that haven't even happened yet. And we have absolutely no idea of how they're going to pan out. I know she's been doing a few things that have been more controversial and that haven't been much likable, but hey, we owe her everything. She really made an impact on us, and I'm forever grateful to her, and I think every single Potterhead should be as well grateful to her. She hasn't disappointed me, especially with this thing of Dumbledore. I'm sure she has a lot of things up her sleeve, and she's just kind of saving it for the future films to not spoil it at all. So this is it for today. For this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please leave me your comments. Let me know what you think, if you agree with me. If you partially agree with me, or if you think I'm just talking, just let me know, because I'm very interested in discussing this. As long as you say it with respect, then all opinions are welcome. So I don't know when I'm gonna make another video, but I'll keep you guys posted. It might be next week, or it might be a month or a year. I don't know. I really can't say. I can't commit to making videos right now. But I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did. And anyway, until next time, bye guys.